Oh, that's enough of that. I'm late. I'm late, and I was going to say I would apologise, but no, balls to you. I don't apologise. I'm late. I arrive exactly when I'm supposed to arrive. Yeah, it's been a bit of a mad rush. You're just going to have to give me 2 minutes to catch up. Talk amongst yourself. How is everyone anyway? Sound off in the chat. Let me know that you're there. I'm not just sat, what should I say, talking to myself. Right, okay, let's have a look. Let's see. Let's have a little catch up on the chat. So we've got Rudy. Yes, good evening, young man. I think it should be me that's calling you young man. He thinks there's Martin, and there's Andy, and there's a Ben, and there's a another Andy. I'm booting. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I was booting. Yes. How about if I put that there instead? Let me see now. Will that go there? What's that covering up? It's covering nothing up, so we shall put it there. There we go. That might work better. I can see what's going off then. I don't know to leave it where it was. No, I'll leave it where it was. Put it back down here. Yeah, I'm not prepared. Like I said, I'm running a bit late because I've had the Vaults of Icon Matriarch has been for tea. That's so I've been entertaining. I've had my happy face on entertaining, so yeah, that was an excruciating couple of hours. So I think grumpy old bugger mode is firmly engaged again now. I'm not gonna get happy me. No way. Balls to you. Anyway, so let me just catch up with the chat and then we'll make a start. So where would I now? Oh yes, there we go. So Martin saying hi to Ben and Boom and whatever, and Joshy. Hi Josh. We've got Ben watching this and Cocaine Bear. Right, I've not seen that. That might be one to look into. We've got Josh saying hello to everyone. I think Andy might be in some difficulty there with that comment, I think. Hope he's not sat on the toilet. You don't want to be pushing too hard, Andy. I'm saying hello to Josh. Oh, it's, Palps is here. Hey Ed. Palps. Hey Palps. The Hatter has arrived. Where are we now? What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Marlo Paps. I started the day aiming to create 10 videos. I have made 2. Why would you? I don't know. I give up. Right, okay, yeah. Hello, Gareth. Oh, Gareth's entered the forum. And so's Dave. Ben. Oh, so it's just a lot of hellos that are going off at the minute. Nothing of consequence. Nothing meaty. It's just hellos. And there's nothing wrong with a hello. Do some stuff with my daughter, but we'll keep your ring on in the background. I'm busy crafting, but we'll be putting you from time to time. It's nice to know that I can hold so much attention. It really is. Right then, so I'm caught up with the chat. At least thought to what Andy decided just wanted to throw one more comment in. Fair enough. Right, okay, let's hang on a minute. Let's just, because I'm mad rush, I've not had a chance to sort my lighting levels out, so I'm all a bit fuzzy, but it'd be right. Right, okay, I think let's make a start, shall we?
It's Civic Spectrum time.
Hey, I was going to say that.
There we go, and I think that's a more familiar view to be looking at, isn't it? We've got the Spectrum emulator all ready to go. So if you'd read the description, I had said I am looking at. Oh no, I want to be on this one first. Oh yeah, let's go back to here. Yes. So the 3 games that we got this evening are Jetpack, Spy Hunter, Cybernoid, and then the bonus game is R-Type 2 for the Atari ST. Yes, I've fired up the old Atari ST emulator. So we're going to look at Jetpack first. So I will get the... There we go. So I'll hold that up to the... There we go. That's the box for Jetpack, and this one is by Ultimate Player the Game, and it was released in 1983. Hence, it's saying for the 16 or 48K RAM ZX Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is a 16K game. However, when I start playing it and you're seeing it, you'll be surprised just how much of a quality good game you can get out of 16K. That was the thing with especially Ultimate Player the Game and some of the early Spectrum games. They were able to get so much out of that limited memory, which only increased and got better as the gaming went on. Towards the end of the life of the Spectrum, you know, you still had the 48K, you also had the 128K, but majority of people were still rocking the 48K, and the amount of game, you know, and playability and good graphics that you were able to get out of that limited amount of memory, because they just became so creative at doing it. But anyway, yes, Jetpack. So I'll do the usual cassette. So there we go. That's the cassette. Nice black cassette with a paper overlay showing you the Lunar Jetman. I'm calling him Lunar Jetman because there was a sequel game to this called Lunar Jetman, and it was starring the same character. And then the card inlay, there we go. And then just got all the bum and such. Actually, tell you what, really what I ought to do for this is, let me see now. There we go. Just excuse me while it goes blank a minute. There we go. There we go. This is going to work better, I think. It's a work in progress. Where am I going to throw it? Let's just throw it there, shall we? Yeah, that'll just do for now. That'll do for now. There we go. So yeah, right, there we go. You can see it a lot better now. So that's Jetpack. Card inlay. There's the cassette. And that's an empty cassette box. So let's get that back in there now. Put that back up over there. Let's turn that off, and let's quickly catch up with the chat before I make a start playing the game. Martin, yes, let games begin. Rudy's looking forward to Spy Hunter. Yes, good game, good game. Martin loves Spy Hunter, and Andy's R-Type. Just a little bit. There we go. So what can I tell you about Jetpack before we make a start? Well, what I can tell you is, like I say, it was released in 1983 by Ultimate Player the Game. The original price on release was £5.50. Wow, that was a lot in 1983. It was £5.50. Can't get my breath. I did have this game as a wee youngster back in the day, but I had it on a copy. I didn't have the original, I'm afraid. And I keep glancing off to my notes, so you'll have to excuse me. But yeah, the notes that I've made for this game in particular is I've put, in my opinion, Jetpack is one of those games that because its levels are so repetitive, it lends itself to repeat, pick up and play for 10, if you're going to spare 5-10 minutes. Growing up, I had a core of about 10, 12 games that I would always go to. They'd be like my go-to games, and Jetpack was definitely one of them. Now, Jetpack came out before Crash started doing like the Crash Smash reviews and things like that. So it did appear in Crash issue 1, which was February 1984, but they didn't give it an overall percentage or anything like that. But they did say that they loved the game and they thought it was worth the purchase. Right, let's get on, shall we? All these games before my time, and his as well, and Gareth, yes. Well, you can't be blamed for being born a little bit later. I agree with that sentiment, Martin. Right, let's get rid of the desk cam and let's... No, you've already had the intro, haven't you? We don't want any more of that intro. Right, and there we go. Jetpack artwork. Let's see now. So let's open up. I'm going to keep the Spectrum in 48K mode because I don't need it any higher than that. And here we are on this screen. Now, if I remember rightly, what were the keys now for this? ZX, Q and A, I think. Let's get straight into it. Yes. Right. So, like I said, a very basic but highly addictive and very playable game. So the aim of the game is you've got to build your spaceship to escape the planet. And while you're at it, you can pick up various collectibles and try not to get killed either. I hope you can hear it. I hope it's not too loud. Sound off in the chat if it's too loud or if it's just right to let me know, and then I can alter the volume accordingly. Because I can't seem to just set it at one standard level, as different games have like different sound levels going off for them. And that's it. Right, so that's the first level. Nice and easy. Collect your 3 spaceship parts, and then refuel it, and then you land on the next level. Now you just need to collect your fuel. And you get a few more nasties as well. This time, subsequent levels, you have to collect more than 1 fuel. You have to top it up. And like I say, the nasties get quicker and more plentiful. You can also pick up bonus items that drop down. Right, so you can all hear it. That's fine. That's good. Oh. I'll catch up with the chat in between games, or as and when I get killed, or if I can just glance over. Oh, my ship is refueled. There we go. And I can take off. Right, let's have a quick look then. Right, Andy can hear it now, that's fair enough. I think they're putting this on Evercade. Ah, right. Right, they must have done a deal then with the current rights holder, which is, the name slips my memory. Yes, the fuel does auto drop. So you pick it up, and then when you hover over the spaceship like that, it does drop. There we go. Now then, our spaceship has now changed to something that resembles a space shuttle. Oh, it's getting a bit tasty now. Getting a bit tasty. They're all over the place. Oh, Nesbit. Right, there's something going on here because I keep getting... I wonder if there's a glitch in it because I'm getting killed, but I'm not actually losing any lives. And I don't have infinite lives activated on it. Oh, well, that's what it just means it's more entertaining for you, and there's no consequences to my... Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I don't recall... Oh, I think... Right, I think infinite lives may be activated because... Oh, it's a while ago now. It must be last year. I was playing this last year, I think it was, and I activated the infinite lives in the emulator, so it must... Yeah, the emulator must save the pokes. So then, when you load that particular game up again, it pulls the poke from the memory. Right. So yeah, we're on infinite lives on this one then. But as you can see, yes, I've just glanced across now. Someone's mentioned about it being fast paced. Yeah, as the further and further you get into the game, the quicker it gets, and like I said, the more nasties you get as well. One of the games that this does remind me of is Joust for the Atari. Well, originally the arcade, but then I remember playing Joust more on the Atari VCS, also known as the 2600, depending on how old you are. If you're a bit older, it'll be the Atari VCS. If you're a little bit younger, it's the Atari 2600, because it had a bit of a rebranding. When it was first released, it was released as the Atari VCS, video computer system. But then, I think it was it the year after? The second year release something? I think they rebranded it as the 2600. Oh. So I've just glanced across at the chats there. Oscar, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Appreciate that. And he said, did anyone ever try the micro version? I'm assuming you mean the BBC Micro. If it's the BBC Micro version that you're speaking of, Andy may be able to field that question, because Andy did have a BBC. There was only one person on my street where I grew up that had a BBC Micro. We weren't posh enough to have a BBC. Only the posh boys had those. Also, for the fact as well that they didn't make particularly many games for the BBC Micro, which isn't its fault really. It was just that the BBC Micro was tended to be, it was viewed more as an educational computer rather than a gaming micro. But to be fair, Sir Clive Sinclair, his vision for the Spectrum was more for it to be like a serious home computer and, for business than for gaming. But it was, because it was so easy to program for and so versatile, it was adopted by the gaming community and the software companies, and they made a shed ton of games, which, if I remember rightly, last count, there's over 14,000 games available for the ZX Spectrum to date, which is a fair few. But yeah, so it was the yes, Martin, yes, Jet Set. Well, it wasn't Jet Set Bloody, it was Jet Set Further in Willy. Yeah, if nobody has watched it, it's on YouTube, and they have the HD version on YouTube. I do recommend you watching Micromen, it's called, and it's the story of Sir Clive Sinclair and Chris Curry during the early days of the home micro revolution. And it's a dramatisation. It's not 100% historically accurate, but it's close enough to be entertaining. And Alexander Mitchell does a fantastic impression of Clive Sinclair. Although there is the Compute Museum at Cambridge, they did a live watch session with Chris Curry and Herman Hauser, and they watched Micromen, and they did like a live commentary and thing. Well, it wasn't live commentary, but they recorded them chatting while they were watching it. And Chris Curry wasn't particularly over keen on them casting Martin Freeman as him. Basically, I think that's because he said he's just a bit bland. Chris Curry is more of a character than Martin Freeman. Apparently he's a nice chap, is Chris Curry, but like all businessmen that have been that successful, they must have a bit of a not a mean streak, but focused, let's say. But yeah, if you get the chance to watch Micromen, I would highly recommend it. I think it's only about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. It's not particularly long, but it gives you the rundown of basically what happened at that period of time. Because unlike in the States, in the United States, they had their games crash in 1983, and it was, that did what it said on the tin. It'd be, the market of it, the bottom of the market fell out of it, and over here we didn't experience that so early. And to be fair, it wasn't the games that caused it for us over here in the UK. It was more a fact that there was an abundance of home micros available. There was just too many on the market. You had the Spectrum, you had the Acorn Electron, you had the Spectrum Plus, you had the Spectrum 128K, you had the Amstrad CPC 464, you had the Auric 1, the Auric Atmos, DeLonghi Dragon, then it's Tangerine. No, Tangerine was the Atmos. You had the Dragon 32 and Dragon 34. You had the MSX. And then you had the Commodore and Atari and the BBC. So there was just so many home micros available that the market couldn't support them all. Neither could the software companies. No. It went bump, and that would have been, I reckon that probably would have been, I'd say probably mid to late 1985, if I'm honest. Basically because you had, when Amstrad turned up with the CPC 464, it did okay over here in the UK, but it did far better on the continent, like in places like France and Spain. In Spain, it was competing with the Spectrum 128K Plus, the toast rack, because Sinclair went into partnership with Investronica. Is it? I'm pronouncing that right? Investronica, to produce the 128K model. So they decided to release it there first in Spain. So they missed the Christmas '85 market for it, which kind of led really partly to Sinclair's downfall. So then by the time you got to spring of '86, that's when Alan Sugar came along and bought out Sinclair and took over. And all that was just down to poor timing. And the same happened to Acorn. They aimed to have the Acorn Electron on the shelves for Christmas of '83, but due to production delays, etc., it didn't actually make it until after, sort of like mid 1984, by which time, you know, there was just an overabundance of stock, they weren't selling, and that kind of sealed their fate, and they sold out to Olivetti. But anyway, all this, you can, if you watch that Micromen, it goes into all that and it tells you all this anyway. So, and there we go, right, and I'm back to the beginning of the game. I've looped around. That's, so yeah, that's Jetpack. I'm not going to play anymore because I've looped around on it. And you can tell that I've looped around on it because it's returned it back to the original spaceship, which is just your rocket. So, yeah, I don't know what you think of that. Let's head to the chat and see what people have been saying while I've been playing that game. Let me just reset the machine. Because if not, it's going to keep playing on in the background there. And I'll just leave it playing on in the background. It'll be fine. Right, so Gareth's had a productive day. He's almost finished his next video. Martin's saying, nice one. Then he's also got started on volume 3 of Alita. He's playing my floor of my hobby room man cave. Can't hear. Like at all. It's a bit quiet, Ed. Volume's okay for you. Now I can. Oh yeah, it's better now a bit for me. I think they are putting this. Oh yeah, this is one that I glanced over and said, yeah, on Evercade. Yeah, I wonder what else that's going to be on Evercade with. I'd be interested to see what. Not that I'm not particularly interested in the Evercade. It's a nice machine, but it's not for me. I'd be more interested on the Evercade side if you could use your own ROMs on it and things like that. But with it being a cartridge-based system, you're having to buy the cartridges and things like that. You know, I think it's just I'd say a good 99% of the games you can download anyway, so it kind of, for my purposes, it makes it a bit redundant. But I'm glad that it's out there and people are enjoying it. Is this related to Jet Set Willy? No, it's not, Andy. It's not related to Jet Set Willy whatsoever. Completely different software house. Like I said, Jetpack was done by Ultimate Play of the Game. Jet Set Willy was by Software Projects. Does that feel? Yes. Oh yeah, I caught that one, didn't I? Yeah. Martin, fast pace one. Yes, it is a bit of a fast pace. Everyone try. Oh yeah, I glanced over. That's Oscar. Nice Spectrum Corn here. Oh, thank you, Oscar. Appreciate that. He's saying a lot to Oscar. I did, but I'm afraid I didn't. Ah, right. Yes, sorry. Yeah, you had a BBC, but you didn't have this game. Rocket Raid, yes. Strikers Run, yes. Martin's, yeah. Jet Set, yeah. Micromen, yeah. Beeb. Rudy, don't think I ever made it to this type of shuttle. Yeah, like I say, it just goes through like the rocket shuttle, and then it's not like a Saturn kind of looking rocket. Then like there's a more of a Soyuz kind of looking rocket, and then you're back to this one. Then Alexander Armstrong. Oh, hi Mario. I've got some highs from Mario to Ben, etc. And Buford. Hello, Buford. Classic game. Yeah, thank you. Hi, Josh. And Buford's going with the hellos. Right, we're all caught up. And I think with that, then, I shall move on to... Let's just see what time it is. Yeah, I shall move on to Spy Hunter. So, let me just reset the machine. We'll go back here. We'll activate the desk cam. And we'll bring the box down for... Put that over there because we've played that now. So I'll bring that one out to here. Oh. There we go. That's better. I'm shattering the illusion there. You all thought that the Vault Keeper was actually stood on my shelf, didn't you? And I've shattered the illusion by doing that. Sadly, he's not. No, he's not. He's in the virtual world as the Vault Keeper for now. So, right then, here we go. Spy Hunter. There we go. Oh, that's no good, is it? It's a bit shiny there. Is it going to be better if I just hold it up here? It is. Anyway, whatever. Right, so yes, Spy Hunter. There we go. So Spy Hunter was released in 1985. It's a US Gold game. And upon initial release, it was £7.95. Which, if you think that that's 2 years later than Jetpack, and it's only like £2 dearer. And it's a more complex game. Also, it's got like a tie-in, you know, it's a licensed game as well. It's a licensed arcade game. So I think, you know, kind of only going up £2 in 2 years for a licensed arcade game. I don't think that's bad. Anyway, so yeah, that's the box. Front of the box, real nice artwork. Back of the box, we've got various screen grabs, and as per usual, the screen grabs are not from the Spectrum version. The screen grabs are from the arcade version. And then we've got an advert down the bottom for Buck Rogers, Zaxxon, Tapper, and Up and Down, which are all arcade games, and they're all ports as well, which were available on the Atari and things like that. Open the plastic clam up, and inside we've got the cassette, which I'll take out. There we go. Black cassette, paper label with the Sega and US Gold branding on. And by the way, just so you know, all the games that I have on cassette, all the cassettes do work. And then we've got the instruction sheet, and like I say, it's got the original arcade game reference on there, which was Bally Midway, and then that folds out and basically gives you all the instructions on what to do, how to do it, and then also a little bit of an advert and description of the other games which are available. Pop that back in there. So yeah, Spy Hunter. So back in the day, I did play this game a lot. Again, it wasn't a game that I had the original copy for. I had it on I think it was a C30 or C30 tape that I had this particular one on, because there was a few other games that I did have as well on that. It is a fast-paced game. You need quick reflexes from it, and like I mentioned already, I'm looking across my notes here. It's a conversion of the original arcade coin-op by Bally Midway. This was reviewed in Crash issue 16, which was released in May of 1985, and they awarded it an overall 89%, which was a crash smash. So there we go, Spy Hunter. Let's get it loaded up, shall we? Let's change the artwork. Got the Spy Hunter artwork there. I'll just catch up with the chat before we do. Great game. I'm assuming that you mean for Jetpack there. Martin's up for a bit of Spy Hunter. Ben, the only Spy Hunter I know is the 2001 version for the PS2. It may be the same version, Ben. It may be like, you know, an upgraded or uprated or remake of it, if you will. Buford likes Spy Hunter. Oscar, is that the one of the FPGA-based ZX Spectrum clones in the background? Blue. If so, how do you like? Is that like? Is it? Sorry, if so, like. No, the blue one in the back isn't a clone. The blue one is a ZX0 by Hermit Retro. So it's just a. What I'm going to do is I won't do it now, but I think maybe the next Spectrum stream that I do in 2 weeks, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just spend, you know, half an hour maybe just chatting through and going through the various Spectrums that I do have, you know, doing a bit more of a hardware thing rather than a software thing. I will play games, but I think if you'd like that, let me know in the chat, and I can make that happen. But no, just briefly, Oscar, it's a let's get you back up onto the big frame there. And you can't see now because of that. Let's get rid of the desk cam. Yeah, the blue one, it's a ZX0 by Hermit Retro. It's in a repro blue case with white keys. And it's just so basically I can hook it up to the TV downstairs. It's HDMI out, and I can play it on the TV downstairs. The yellow one that you can see here is a USB keyboard, which isn't feeling a bit sorry for itself at the moment because I'm still waiting for a firmware upgrade for it. The white one down here is a proper 48K Spectrum, but it's just in a white case. The black and yellow one is an empty case at the moment because I haven't decided if I'm going to go for a Pi board or if I'm going to go for an original Spectrum motherboard in it. And then the other two at the other side, where are we? There, both black. Those are both original Spectrums. So anyway, that was yes, a quick blast through there. I gotta say hi, Martin. There we go. Do you like it? Yes, I do like it. Yes. We've got some strikers wrong. Sega. Every time I hear that, I always think of Sonic and this Mega Drive. And when I was at college, I think cool red car on the cover. Yes, the car on the cover is a bit of a mashup, really. It's a bit of a mashup of a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, I would say. It's pretty much a nondescript car, but I can see the influences of both in there. So there we go. Caught up with the chat. We've got that up. Let's get Spy Hunter. There we go. Look at that. That is a nice title screen. I like that. I like that. And, you know, they've not done a bad job, actually, have they, of reproducing that, the cover work from the cassette. There we go. Right, I hope we can all hear that. And we're going to go for keyboard. Now, we've got redefinable keys on this one, so I don't have to worry about giving myself arthritis or anything like that, trying to... Because... some of the early games actually came with the keys predefined, and I question some of the choices that they made for the key layout for some games, because it's like you need to be like some kind of contortionist to you know, manage the keys. But right, okay, so we're gonna go, and I think if I remember rightly, I can't use spacebar on this, so I'm gonna go left, right. So OP, I'm going to WS and M. Happy with those? Yes, I am. Expert or novice? I'm going to put novice. Because if I go expert and fail, they'll just laugh at me. And here we go. So, it's minimal sound effects. You've just got, like, crash sound effects. And then, like, gun sound effects. You can slow down, you can speed up. If you slow... Oh. I did the collision, so it's probably going to wait until I get to a straight bit of road. Now, the aim of the game is to shoot the red cars, which are the... Oh, no, don't want to shoot him. They're the baddies. Oh. Now, what you can do is... Sorry, where were I? Oh, yes, the sound effects. Yeah, so you've just got basic sound effects, which is the machine gun and then crash noises. Right, here we go. And you can get pickups all the way. So, drive into the back of the truck and you get rocket launchers. Tell you what, I'm going to go... Oh, every time. Right, let me just glance at the chat. Bridge out. Right, so I am going to have to go as the boat on this one. Ah, there we go. And this was one of the the awesome things about this game, that you could not only... Oh, I just killed a duck. Yeah, you could... sorry, I'm having to concentrate here because I have not played this game for so long, and my reflexes aren't what they used to be. But yeah, back in the day when this game came out, like I was saying, that was one of the cool things about this game. You know, because not only could you, play the game driving the car, you then was able to do the whole boat thing as well. Right, I think it's going to force me out of the water soon. Oh, ooh. Right, yeah, we're going to... Oh, and we're back on... Oh! Nice bit. Oh, poor motorcyclist. Oh, he's going to force me in the water again. Right, I'm sorry, but I can't pick you up, Rocket Man. There we go. Bridge out. Let's try not to kill the ducks. Come on. Oh. Oh. Right, it should put me back on the road. Oh, no, it won't. It's game over. Ah, there we go. Let's catch up on the chat before I go in again. That's the school screen. Yeah, very, very much 80s. No music on the 40K. No, Rudy, there wasn't. Basically, that's down to the architecture of the Spectrum. The Spectrum didn't have a dedicated sound chip like an AY chip, where the Commodore 64 did. That had an AY chip, so that was able to do the sounds, and it also didn't have the attribute and color clash like the Spectrum did. Now it's a bit chalk and cheese, really. I mean, it's like it's what you like. I must admit, on my part, back in the day, I never experienced that whole thing that people seem to say there was this big like feud and big kind of battle against Commodore users and Spectrum users, and I never experienced any of that. I think I knew probably a handful of people that had Commodores and the VIC-20 as well, but it was just a case of people were just too busy enjoying the machine that they were playing on, and we'd go around to their house and play on their machine, and then they come round to ours. So I don't. Maybe it was a southern, down south thing. I don't know. But where I grew up, there wasn't that. There was never any of that kind of like, oh, you've got a Commodore. No, there was just none of that. Even with things like the Auric, the Acorn Electron. We just enjoyed the machines for what they are, and we played the games on them. But yeah, but even though the Commodore 64, it had more memory, it had 64K of memory, whereas the Spectrum had the 48K. Like I say, it didn't have the attribute class or color clash. It had the AY chip. The Spectrum didn't. But when you compare the graphics side by side, the graphics on the Spectrum are more detailed, whereas on the Commodore 64 they're a little bit more blocky. And again, it's just what it is. I'm not saying that one's better than the other. It's just that, like I say, the graphically wise, the Spectrum, for me personally, I think it kind of had the advantage over the Commodore 64. But there we go. But no, if you had that and you played on that and you enjoyed that, then that's great. I'm sure it's up your alley with a great many things, Dave. But no, I'm glad you like Spy Hunter. It's a great game, addictive game as well. Yeah, Martin loves this. Yeah, Buford. Yeah, it's one of his time favourites. It's a squid boat. Martin laughed with me there. Is that when I killed the duck? Would you say it's faster emulated than the original? I'd be tempted to say, in all honesty, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. It doesn't feel any faster, Andy, if I'm honest with you. Oh, that one nice. Yeah, it doesn't feel too fast. I think that's basically because the Fuse emulator, from what I remember reading on the development notes for the Fuse emulator, they have tried to clock it so it accurately reproduces the Spectrum games and how they play. So I couldn't say for definite. The only thing I'd have to do is I would have to try and figure out some way to get them side by side and compare them, or play on, load it up, load one of the tapes up and try it, and then come on the emulator and try it. But I don't know. I'd be inclined to believe that maybe they're about the same. The reason why I say that, I think, is because when I play Manic Miner, when I play that on the emulator, that's no faster or slower than what it was on the original game. So that's the way that I'm leaning on that one, I think. Mario remembers playing this game. And we've got a thumb up from Andy. Right, let's head back into Spy Hunter. He said. Oh, I think it may have crashed. Not a problem. I'll just load it up again. There we go. Oh, excuse me. And let's get those keys back in. And we go for Novice again. And here we go. Let's see if we can get some pickups this time. I mean, if you feel... Oh, he's gone and drove into the thing. But you can shoot the... Now, the blue cars, you can't shoot them, because the blue cars are there to knock you off into the side. You can force them into the side yourself. Ah, here we go. There we go. Now, how do I fire the rocket? There's to fire the extra weapons. There's key sequences that you've got to do. And we've got smoke. Right, I need to try and remember what the key sequence is for the... It's like fire and up and fire and left and... Oh, there we go. I did it. I'm not sure what I pressed to do that then. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's the thing as well. When you crash, you lose your extra weapons. You don't retain them. You just retain your. There you go. I felt a bit evil, so I shot my van. Now, I'm just trying to think. I think when I used to play this game back in the day, I think the furthest I ever got to. That's what the rocket's for. Now I remember. It's for the helicopter. To shoot the helicopter. Yeah, if I remember back in the day when I played this, I think I only ever got onto the desert level. Which is the level... And as you can imagine, with it being the Spectrum, the desert level just basically means that... Oh, there we go. And here's the desert level. The scenery goes a yellow colour, as opposed to the green. And there's still an abundance of trees out in the desert. Take that for your global warming. Right, let's... Oh, why didn't you let me pick that up? Come on. Can you hear the effects on this one okay? Ah, there we go. Yes, there is, Rudy. Yeah, snow level, yeah. Where the scenery turns white. I don't know why I'm shooting. I can't shoot that one. Let's force him into... Side. Oh, evil. And let's force the cyclist. No, 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 no. There we go. There we got smoke. Right, so smoke is fire and left. Okay, fire and left. Oh, watch the ducky. Rubber ducky, rubber ducky. You know something? I'm trying to resist this, but I can feel myself being quite tempted to look into picking up that Bert and Ernie figures. Is it NECA that do them? Bert and Ernie? If nothing more for the fact that it's Bert and Ernie. Hey Bert! Ernie. The Muppet version of The Odd Couple. While I'm here as well, I mentioned about watching Micro Men. Oh, I missed! I got him! Sorry. Sorry, I was 10 years old again. I apologise. Oh, oil spill. Ooh. And that's press right and fire. And we're at the snow level. There we go, Rudy. This one's for you. Snow with green trees with red trunks. And I don't mean swimming trunks. I think... Oh no, I've... smoke, oil, rocket, guns. I think I've got a full complement of weapons here. I have, yeah. I'm sorry for shooting, but I don't need you. You're in my way. What we're saying now? Oh yes. So I was saying about the Bert and Ernie. Yeah, I'm tempted by Bert and Ernie. But no, the YouTube thing. Yeah, I'd mentioned about watching Micromen on YouTube. It is available to watch on there, and I would recommend it. But it was the motorcycles on this game that reminded me. I think the film's great. It's great in the fact that it's very much of its time. It's a 70s movie. It's not a Hammer film, but it's in the same vein as Hammer. You know, you would be forgiven for thinking that it is a Hammer film, but it's not. And the motorcycles in this game reminded me of it. Oh, this bit. And it's called Psychomania. And it's about this gang of, I mean, I suppose if you want to call them Hell's Angels, but they're like British Hell's Angels. So they're not as intimidating or as tough as their American cousins. And the bikes aren't as good. Although there are some very nice motorcycles in there. There's a couple of BSAs and Triumphs and things like that. But yeah, so it's a film. You can watch it. The full film is there on YouTube, called Psychomania. And it's got Beryl Reid in it. She plays the mum. And it's also got George Sanders in it. And if you're not sure who George Sanders is the gentleman that did the voice. I can't kill this because I'm just going to try and avoid it because I haven't got my rockets. He's the chap that did the voice for Shere Khan in the Jungle Book. There you go. And that's game over. Right, let me check the chat again. There's a snow level. Yes, we're there, Rudy. We're there. The detail on the trees is superb, and I enjoy the way the car farts from time to time. Yeah, it's the noise of the machine guns. You need a farty sound machine gun. Yep, got that far. I used to stop my boat to watch the other cars crash on the bridge too. What childhood? Yeah. What the duck? Buford has the Burton Ernie. Oh, excellent, excellent. Does it actually retain the location of the vehicles as they drop off the screen? Why is oil handy if not? Right, so what you have is the mechanics of the game. If you slow down and go too slow, you will then have cars coming up behind you. And then as the game progresses, as it speeds up, those cars that do randomly come from behind come a lot quicker. So you have the oil then to use the oil slick to get rid of them. Like the enemy cars come up behind you, which initially the enemy cars are the red cars with like the wheel spikes. And then later on you saw one or two of them. It was like the cyan coloured thicker set cars. Those are also the enemy cars as well. So yeah, you do need the oil slick for that, and the smoke as well. But also you need them as well because you're a spy. You're a spy in your sports car driving along. You need oil. You need smoke. And that's it. I'm caught up with the chat. What time are we on? Let's have a look. Right, we're on 9 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodbye to Spy Hunter. And I'm going to change machines because for this we're going to want the full 128k for this one. So we're back on the frame with the desk cam, and we're going to be playing Cybernoid. So what can I tell you about Cybernoid? Well, this is what I'm going to tell you about Cybernoid. Let me just get my notes up. Gotta have notes. I'm good, but I'm not that good. Well, actually, I am. So Cybernoid was released in 1988. So this is getting towards, it's coming out towards the end of the Spectrum's life. The Spectrum did cease production in 1991. It was the Amstrad Spectrum Plus 2A and the Plus 3. The Plus 3 being the black one with the disk drive. So by the time this game came out in 1988, the Spectrum was really, it was obsolete. By 1988 you had the Amiga 500, you also had the Atari ST, so you were getting the early 60s. Well, they came out in 1985 actually, so you had the early 16-bit computers coming up, but because of the price range, some of them, most of them were cost prohibitive. Although I think it was 89, it would have been 89, maybe early 1990. You then started, because in the UK, I mean, I'm bleeding here onto the Ataris and Amigas here now, but by late 89, early 1990, you had the Amiga and the Atari ST basically being sold in bundle packs. So they would get, I said bundle, not bungle. It didn't come with Rod, Jane and Freddie or George and Zippy. It was a bundle. So it came in bundle packs, so you had quite a lot of games, a plethora of games, shall we say. And I believe Cybernoid wasn't in there, but Cybernoid 2 was in there, and R-Type 2, which I'll be playing after this, was in there as well. That was one of the packs that I got, the Atari ST with, was it the Action Pack? I'm just trying to think if it was the Action Pack, I'm not right sure. But yeah, they came with a lot of games. The Atari ST was actually more popular in the UK and Europe than the Amiga, and that was just basically down to price. However, by the time you got to, it would have been 88, 89, the Amiga was actually the better computer than the Atari ST. When the Atari ST and the Amiga first came out, the Atari ST was the better one, but then as time went on, the Amiga did outclass it and surpass it, so that's probably why the ST was cheaper. But anyway, let's get back onto this. So yeah, Cybernoid, Hewson Consultants, released in 1988, and this was £7.99 when first released. I did play on this one quite a lot. There was quite a few games from Hewson around about this time which I really enjoyed. Cybernoid was one, Synapse was the other, and then one of my all-time favourites was Exelon, which I played, I think, on Spectrum Time. Was it 3, maybe 4? I'm not right sure, but I've done that. So yeah, so Cybernoid. And it was one of the games I did actually have this on the original. So this isn't my original. My original's been and gone, but I did have it on the original. And it was one of those games that had that one more level appeal. You know, so you'd get so far and you think, all right, yeah, I'll just see if I can get a bit further. I'll just see if I can get a bit further. It was that. Like most games for the Spectrum, it didn't have a save option. So basically, if you managed to get really far in the game and you got killed, or you had to, you know, it was time for bed or something like that, you couldn't save it. So when you came back to play it, you had to start all at the beginning. That was unless you had what was called a multi-face. If you were fortunate enough to have a multi-face, that was basically a little black box that plugged into the back of your Spectrum, and it had a big red button on the top. And with that, you were able to create save states, and you were also able to input pokes and things like that for infinite lives or level skips and things. So that was quite good. You could still do pokes with games, but it required you to break the load. So like you'd start loading the game and you'd have to break the load at a particular point to insert a line of code, basic code, or you'd write a few lines of basic code before you started loading the game, and then it would be incorporated into it. But yeah, so no save state on the game. This was reviewed in Crash issue 51, which was April of '88, and it got a 96%, which again meant it was a Crash smash. Right, I'll show you the cassette and inlay, and then I'll shut up and we'll start playing it. So there's the cassette inlay, nice bit of artwork on there, and then the screen captures, surprisingly, are from the Spectrum. So we've got Spectrum screen captures there on the back of the inlay. Nothing on the other reverse side. It's just blank. Double dual cassette with no spokes in, so the game cassette would slop about inside. I was always curious. I never actually looked into it or found out why they packed single cassette games in double dual boxes. I think it was just probably maybe a prestige thing or something like that. There we go. There's the cassette. Black cassette, white paper label. Just basically, just basic type font on it. Nothing special about it. And it just tells you that you can play it on the Spectrum, the 48K Spectrum, the Spectrum Plus, the 128K and Plus 2. Oh, you can play it on the Plus 2 in 48K mode. Ah, right then. I'm curious then. I've selected the 128K, the toast rack, to play it on, so I'll see if it will play in 128K mode. If not, then we'll have to go back to 48K. And then we've got the pamphlet label sheet or whatever. So yeah, Cybernoid, it just goes through the instructions, tells you what to do, how to load, how to play the game, the keys, although they are redefinable. And it also gives you the instructions for, so you've got Spectrum, you've got the Spectrum Plus 3, Amstrad disc, Commodore disc, Atari ST, Commodore. So it's covering all the machines. And then it's also bilingual, as it has it in French on the back. And that's that. That is that. So pop that back in there. And it still feels weird having the cassette and then not actually putting it in the tape and loading it up. But anyway, so right, that's all I can tell you about Cybernoid. We've looked at that. No. I really need to put them in order, don't I? Let's catch up on the chat and we'll make a start playing. Right, Buford doesn't remember Cybernoid. Not a problem. There's lots of games I don't remember from back in the day, Buford. It may be a case that I did know them and I did play them, but I've just forgot them. Martin doesn't seem to remember this one either. Rudy has no memory of it either. Buford West ST. Yeah, I was an ST chap myself. Same as the Specky versus C64, more playable. Yeah, the 6 of one and half a dozen of the other want it. You know, I'm sure if you were to, you know, question Commodore users, they would prefer and go back to the Commodore days. I mean, I do have the C64 Mini up on the shelf over there, and it's a fun machine to play. That will be interesting to know if people have experience playing the original 64 and the C64 Mini, if there is a difference in the speed of the games on there, because like I said, the C64 Mini is just an emulation. It's not, you know, it's not a real architecture in there. Martin went on round his mates to play the ST. Oh, right then, you had the ST and Amiga in the same house. You must have been very rich, Buford. God damn you. Martin had an Amiga for a while. Dave had an Amiga 500. And then Martin like flashback on the Amiga. Right, that's it. We're caught up. Let's get Cybernoid loaded up. For those who have not. Oh, right, okay. Fuse doesn't like that. Let's try again. There we go. Yep, this is definitely the 128K version because we have music. Andy had the A500 and the A12. Yeah, well, you were just posh, weren't you? With a freaking hard drive of 120 meg recall and FPU. Yeah, there's always that one poshie that, you know, in the chat, you know, from childhood. I bet Andy would have been the kid back at school that had everything, wouldn't he? Bless him. You know, I love you, Andy. I won't pick on you if I didn't. Right then, here we go. So, can we all hear that music? Let me know in the chat if you can hear that music. I'm just going to let it play for a moment. Now that music was capable on the 128K Spectrum basically because of the AY chip that was installed in there. You wouldn't have got that on the 48K version. 48K version, it would have just been a series of beeps that would have mimicked sound. Yeah, I'm liking that. There is, if I remember, I'll dig it out for next time, but there is a YouTube channel that plays non-stop music from Spectrum games. Right. I bet you can hear it now, can't you, Martin? But it's too loud now, isn't it? Because you won't be able to hear me now. Is that okay for you? I don't want it to be too loud. Anyway, let me know if that's loud enough or too loud. You know, before I don't want to get into the game and start playing it and then have to. Right, I'll lock the volume in at that. So where are we then now? Before I start, it's a bit quiet. Yeah, I've sorted that out now. Buford, we weren't rich, but it was around the age we could earn our own money with a paper round and summer jobs. Yeah, the old paper rounds. Yeah, remember them better. And Buford, that's good. Right, okay. Let's define these keys, shall we? So we're going to go left, right with OP, up, Q, and fire space, because there's no down key on this, because you allow gravity to take over. Let's go. And we'll get killed straight away. Oh, oh no! There we go. This is one of those where it's timing. Timing is key. And then you've just got to fly across here, because if not, them rockets will get you. Yeah, did I remember to tell you the pixel perfect thing on this game as well? There we go. What's going on? I don't remember this being this hard. Yeah, what's that all about? I really don't. Right, I've turned the music off so you can hear the, you should be able to hear the... Oh no, can't. Alright, the sound's completely off now. I thought it might just turn the music off rather than... There we go. So having the ball thing doesn't affect you going through the pipe work there. Hopefully it'll yeah, that's it. Yeah, come on, have that now. Yeah, oh, right, okay. Smug mode. Disengage. Oh. Yeah, sorry, Martin. I've just glanced over at the chat and I've turned the music off. Just no. Just as you're enjoying it. Right. Let's try that again, shall we? Right, music back on. No. No. Oh, no. This is a hard game. It was a hard game then, and it's still a hard game now. Note to self, when I do these streams, pick easy games. No! There is a temptation to swear, but I won't. Martin loves the music. I'm glad you do. I would have loved this as a child. It's the type of spacecraft that after playing the game I would have... Yes, it was, and I think I probably would have done that. Yeah, but yes, I did. Well and truly. I would get frustrated with this as a kid. But yes. Yes, the collision detection is... It's that pixel perfect. There's very few games that did pixel perfect. It loves the game was right. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna get the infinite life poke, and I don't care. So just bear with me. I will leave you the music playing while I do, just so I can go a little bit further into the game. Right. Where's my pad? Where's my notepad? Let me write this down. This is all very unprofessional, isn't it? What the hell? Right, so... let's see now. 3.6 87-0 31 0 Right. Right, let me think now. How did I do that now? Oh, that's it. Yes, right, okay. So let me, no, cancel. Right, so machine, yeah. You can't see this on your screen, but I can. So set. Right, so I've got that one, and then let's see now. So then machine, set 31818 space 0. Evaluate. Yep. Close. Right. Let's see how we get on with that. It's a shame you couldn't see that. Bit of programming going off there. Not to worry. Programming. Yeah. Like I'm Bill Gates. Ooh, no. Right, yes, I do love that game over. Buford, yeah. Cheating is a secret. There is no cheating. There is only creative thinking, let's say. I mean, I'm in good company. I mean, did not James Kirk cheat in the Kobayashi Maru test? Right, let's see if that's done what I wanted it to do. It has, yes. Right, okay. Oh, no, it hasn't. Oh, you saucy minx. Right, it's done the infinite lives. Okay. I must have... Yeah. Right, okay. I thought I'd turned off the collision detection. But obviously I haven't. I've just done the infinite lives. Oh well, not to worry. Still makes it a little bit spicy. No. I tell you what, the ship did always remind me of. Slightly. I won't say exactly, but slightly. But the ship's very reminiscent of the Liberator. And for those who are not sure what the Liberator is, I'm sure Andy will tell you in the chat shortly. Oh, still got a comment up, haven't I? Right, what's going on here? It's left me at the bottom of the screen. Right, okay, let's pick these up. Right, oh, they're just classing of it. Oh, hello there, Fire. How you doing, sir? Thanks for just popping in. Appreciate that. After you, Andy. The alien hero ship acquired by Blake in Blake 7. Yeah, I knew you'd let everyone know who what the Liberator was. But yeah, like I say, it's just it reminds me somewhat similar. It's not identical, but I think it's the engine pylon things or whatever it is. You know, the pokey bits at the bottom. Why? Just why? Oh. Come on, I know I can do this. I've been further past this level before. Oh. No words. No words. The next time someone says to me that old games are a piece of pish and you can't beat modern games, I will direct you to Cybernoid. Cybernoid? That's what I am. I think what's doing it as well is the fact that I'm playing it on a on like a keyboard rather than playing it on a rather than the rubber keys. Well, at least I got rid of that. There does seem to be a lot of enemies. I don't recall there being this many enemies. One of the other objects of the game as well is you have to get the pickups as well, because when you get to the end of the level, you are assessed on how many of the pickups that you got while going through the game. Yeah, there is more. There just is. There's more. I wonder if it's because I'm playing the 128K version rather than the 48K version. That's what we want! Thank you! Have a bit of that! I'm assuming that the game realised that I was, you know, my 50-year-old ass was struggling somewhat with getting further. Oh, you... Visible displeasure. Breathe. Just breathe. Oh, any minute now you're going to see a grown man with a beard cry. I'm ruling the day that collision detection poke didn't work. Oh. So anyway, Has everybody had a nice week? Just glancing over at the chat here. Andy, you can take that protractor and compass from the other week and you can insert it where a game load might be. Oh. It's 9:30. So, I'm going to get past this, and then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to load up. Oh, I can't do it because this... Oh. I think Stevie Wonder would be better at playing this game than me. Most definitely. Right. Come on, Ed. Focus. Get you ready in the game. I won't mind so much, but I have been past... I've near enough completed this game. Granted, that was back in the 80s. I think it's an age thing. I think my reactions just aren't what they used to be. Right, the last go. I'm gonna have to wait here for this snaky thing or whatever it is to go past. Nope, I can't walk away. I've got to get past this level. I have got to get past this level. No. Right, wait for Snake Guy to move past. I'll just have a quick look at chats. Where are we? Right, Love Blake 7. Was that the question? I'm slightly distracted. It's a pretty game, this one. Yes, the neutron cannons are similar. Incredible use of the colour palette. It is, Rudy, yes. Do or do not, there's no try. Breathe, Ed, just breathe. Is that it? Where the, Oh no. There is more. I'm gonna catch up on the chat just because I'll just let that snake thing have its fun. I like this. Oh, yeah, the small, yeah, diecast liberator, yeah. Buford's laughing. Corgi, if I remembered. Indeed. Cool shape. Standard by 20, or some such speed-wise. Lol. Lol. I would suggest single key. Yeah, okay, that's what I mentioned about the protractor thing. You swear that, yeah. Buford. Last week was quite surreal. Calm as a sword. Determination. Come on, Ed. I can feel the anger in Manchester. This could be a long one. Right. This is it. This is it. We're going to wait for the snake guy to go past. And if we don't do it this time, we're moving on. But you get an idea. Cybernoid is a good game. Frustrating game. Yes! And there was much rejoicing. No. Oh. I want that thing. That's what I want. It's what I want, and it's what I need. And I need that. Why is it putting it at the other side of the screen where I can't grab to it? There we go. Thank you. That's what we want. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa! Easy, Tiger! That is the end of level 1. And I'm telling you now, I'm not doing level 2. You have failed to retrieve a cargo value of 1,500 within the time allocated. Right, okay, yeah. So I do have a cargo level. The cargo levels are the ones at the top of the screen there. The one that's 5,800 and the 2,920. Those are the cargo levels. But because I didn't do it within the time specified, I've failed. It'll still. I think it still lets me go on to level 2, I think. But yes, it does. Yeah, it lets me go on to level 2. But I'm not going to play level 2. I'm going to move on to R-Type 2. So let's say bye to Cybernoid. There we go. That's Cybernoid gone. Let's get rid of that. There's no point me switching to big screen because I don't have the the disc box for R-Type. But there it is. It's up on the screen now. And let's just catch up on the chat. Buford's having a laugh. A playable game, this. It is indeed. Oh, there was much applause and proudness. We're all feeling this with you, Ed. Have to do it again, Ed. Level 2 for the win. No. Right, okay. So now we are going to go to... Where are you? Here we are. Let's get rid of that. I've lost my train of thought. Where are we? Oh yes, that's where we are. Sorry, you can't see on your screen here. Right, you'll have to bear with me on this one because the Atari ST emulator that I have on the computer is called Hatari, Hatari, and it actually goes into it does the whole. There we go. Is it up on your screen? Can you see it? No, it's not. Why is it not up on the screen? There we go. Right, I will just have to enlarge it because if I don't, can you hear that? Can you hear that blinking noise? For the old Atari ST owners out there, that'll be very familiar. So we'll click on the program. I'll minimize the screen back down. No, there we go. There we go. Right then, so let's have a look. For this one, I am going to go for unlimited lives. I'm going to leave the collision stuff on. Or have I to put collision on? Yeah, I'm going to put collision on so then I can get a bit further into the game. There we go. Now, I'm not sure on the levels for this one, so you'll have to let me know if the volume is too loud on this game or if it's just right, if it's in the Goldilocks zone. Okay, right. What can I say about this game? I don't need any of that, do I? Let me see now. Done that. Done that. I'm on with that. Yeah, I don't need any of that. I can shut that down. Right, so R-Type 2. Excuse me. We'll just have a little chat about this while it does its thing. This version for the Atari ST was released in 1991, and it was by Arc Developments. And I don't have the original price details on this one, I'm afraid. I did research it and I couldn't find it. I had... Oh, right, I'm going to have to turn the collision detection off. I'm going to have to reload it because it's screwed up with the graphics there. Right, I'll have to... Anyway, I'll finish off telling you about it. So yeah, I couldn't find any price detailing for this game. I had it, but it was in the action pack. I think it was either the action pack or elite pack. I think it was with the Atari ST. So, you know, it was included with it, so there's no price. Yeah, side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Originally released in arcades in 1989 by a company called IREM. Excuse me, I vaguely do remember playing this one in the arcade, but I did play it more on my Atari ST back in the early 90s. As I've just been saying then. And I've, on my notes here, I've put that it came in with a game bundle. I've already mentioned that. It's not a direct port from the arcade. There are some slight variations and differences to the original arcade game. You know, so some of those features have been lost, but it's essentially it plays the same and it looks the same. Right then. No details of this in Crash Magazine because it's not a Spectrum game, although I do believe you might have been able to get this for the Spectrum, I think. I think you could get R-Type, the original R-Type on the Spectrum. But in ST Format Magazine, which issue 26, which was released in October of 1991, it was given an overall score of 78%, which is nice. And that's it. I can get rid of that. So what I'm going to do is then, I'm going to have to reload it, I'm afraid, because it's done that whole crashy thing. So, excuse me while I close it down. Yeah, I'm afraid I do want to close it down. Just do a quick chat thing. So, Buford liked R-Type, arcades are cool, R-Type and Turrican for the win. I'll close that window down now, didn't I? Oh well, not to worry. There we go. It doesn't save it, does it, on this one? There we go. Right, I'm just going to go for the unlimited lives. I'm not going to bother with the collision thing. Right, oh, it's dropping a bit cold up here in the attic. Has anyone else noticed that? This past week's been a bit cooler, hasn't it, than what it has been? Or is it just me? Right, I'm going to go for keys on this, because I haven't got a USB joystick for it. So, oh, down, left, right, and fire. Between you. Here we go. Let me know if you can hear that okay, the sound effects and stuff, and the music. And here we are. So no actual in-game sound effects, it's just the music. Oh, come on. no, where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Easy, tiger. Hadouken! Yeah, if you press and hold the fire button, it does like an extra special laser blast kind of thing. Oh, sneaky! Has it sent me back to the beginning? It has. That's a bit tight. It's like being back in the arcades. Hadouken! I know it's not the same, it's not the right game for Hadouken, but I don't care. It's got that Hadouken vibe to it. Right, what's this pick up now? Oh, we got special lasers. Where did that come from? What was all that about? I can't believe that it spits me back to the beginning. Yeah, I'm not speaking much on this because I'm in the throes of concentrating because this game's obviously a lot more faster paced than the Spectrum games. So it's taking a lot more of concentration. What we've got here now? Oh yeah, we've got the super lasers. Gun turret things inside this that I need to dispatch so I can travel through. Come on, there we go, right. What's this now? What's this pick up? Oh, we got bombs! Let's give it a bit of a Hadouken. Come on! There we are! I didn't want none of that. I didn't want none of that. And then we get to the xenomorphs in wheelchairs. At least that's what I always thought they looked like. Oh, we've got another pickup. What's that pickup this time? Oh, look at that. Have a bit of that. Have some of that on toast. Back of the net. God, I sound like Alan Partridge here. Alan Partridge when he was funny. Back in the day. I don't know. I don't think. It might just be me. I don't think he's as good as Alan Partridge now as what he used to be. Whoa, 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 what was this? But anyway, you're here for games, not my intellectual musings. Oh! Let's give it a bit of Hadouken down there. Oh, right, I see. Oh, what's all this about now? It's about me getting killed. Let's get rid of that. I'm pretty sure I'm sure I selected Infinite Lives on that, but anyway, obviously I didn't. Let's catch up on the chat. Let's see what. I'm going to shut that down. Heating started kicking in. I was never into shoot 'em ups when I was young, but I've got into them a bit more from playing them on my Super Pockets. Now the circular animated boon sprites. Awesome stuff, Marty's like that. Yeah, I'm glad that you like that one, Martin. That was a lurking mutation. Oh, munition. R-Type's pretty harsh with its restart points. Some of the enemy plasma bolts are very slow moving, so they hang around. This is quite thrilling and does like a bit of Alan Partridge. Hit the eyes. Love the boss designs on shmups. Absolutely mental. Or shoot 'em ups, yeah, shmups. There we go. Right. Do you know what I forgot to do? Before I started playing R-Type 2, I forgot to do...
Bonus game!
I forgot to do that. So, there you go. I'm going to do it again for you.
Bonus game!
So yeah, I forgot to do the bonus game thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to return myself to that. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to look at the chat. There's nothing in the chat. So I'm going to call it a night. Because playing R-Type there has kind of frazzled my eyes a little bit, actually. They're feeling a bit funny. The jingle. We need a new bonus game now. Oh, do you know? Do you know? What can I pull out of my hat for you then? What can I pull out of my hat? Let me see. Go on then. What time are we on? Right, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Let me see now. What can I do for you in 10 minutes? Let's see what I can do for you in 10 minutes. Not that. There we go. How a bit of... This is a game called Air Raid. Oh, and I got killed. For the... Oh, I got killed again. For the Atari 2600, or ECS. Which it appears to be a variation of the... Oh, there we go. I'm dead. That would be disappointing, wasn't it, that one? It wasn't the one. Where am I now? Tell you what I'm gonna put on. There we go. Sorry, I'm going to start that again because you missed the music on that then, didn't you? There we go. It's just nice little gentle music for a gentler time. Isn't it? Let's get rid of that. Let's have a just quick look at the chat. Buford, yes! Extra bonus power up. Buford, turn the screws and head caved. Love those Atari sounds. It's only because I'm running under time. I'm running on time. I've got 5 minutes. Right, okay. Bit of Frogger then, shall we? He said. There we go. Oh no. There we go. Oh, no, I was nowhere near it. Come on, ref. Right, where are we now? Oh. Oh, we got one frog. Why did the frog cross the road? Because the lily pad disappeared. Because Eddie wouldn't let it lie. You wouldn't let it lie. Sorry. For those of you of a certain age and disposition, you won't have a clue what I was going on about there. But, oh, really? Yeah, bit of Vic Reeves, that was. I see, I'm just nonchalant about this now because I'm able to play this game with one hand. So playing it on the cursor keys. So don't have a USB joystick to plug in. If anyone can recommend a USB joystick to use, that would be muchly appreciated. I've got a USB 360 gamepad. Oh. And that's it. That was Frogger. That was Frogger on the Atari VCS. Let's shut that down. Let's bring me back up here. Let's one more pass at the chat. Is this Crossy Road? No, it's not, Dave. It's not Crossy Road. It's Frogger. No, it's not Hopper. Do you have Moon Patrol arcade game, Ed, for another time? Moon Patrol. Let me just have a look. I'll have a look for you. I'm assuming you mean on the VCS. I do indeed, yes. I do indeed, Martin. I do have Moon Patrol. I have 350 Atari VCS 2600 ROMs to be going at. So, most random sprites ever. Yeah, Vic and Bob. Yes, indeed. Big Night Out. Yes, it was. You wouldn't let it lie. Yeah, wouldn't let it lie with Big Night Out. It was before Shooting Stars. Nice stream. What you caught of it? No worries. You can always go back and watch it again, Dave. Not a problem at all. Nice one, Ed. Enjoy the stream. Yes, nice one. No, I appreciate your kind comments. Always appreciated. So yeah, thank you for joining me this evening on Cedic Spectrum Time with a bit of Atari ST and then just a little bit of Atari VCS at the end there. I shall be back. Well, not me personally, but I will have a plastic and die-cast short going out on Tuesday, the 16th. And then I will be back on Thursday the 18th for the Collector's Archive. And I will be chatting to Scott, also known as Red Scavenger Zoid. So I'll leave it up to your imagination to figure out what we shall be talking about, mostly. So yeah, there we go. That's it. That's the end. Thank you very much. You've been awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to watch me get my ass whooped at a few games there. And I will be back in 2 weeks' time. Have a lovely week. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Look after each other. That is not my soundtrack. That's my alarm. All the best. See you later. Goodbye.